I thought I'd have my tea standing up today. We've come into May now, and there has been a good deal of rain. The Solace garden has been full of rainbows this week. So I'm using my marble pillar stand to hold the tray for my tea things. And until last summer, this had a beautiful old Victorian stoneware urn upon it. Unfortunately, it became a victim of squirrel wars. The squirrels are all over the frame of my my fence work here and in the hazel trees, and I came back one day to find smashed on the ground. And as yet, I haven't found anything that I want to replace the urn. I have in mind a moon jar, but they're rather rare. So following last little film on the swings, which are preliminary exercises for Tai Chi practice and Qigong, I thought we'd do a little bit of standing practice. So of course we are the animal, the mammal, the primate that stood up. So it might seem to you strange that we should train in what is our ancestral birthright. But as with anything in these these skills, training in the practice allows for development, and an advancing. Within our own practice and perhaps in the wider world too. So, to take a nice open step as before, where the feet are in parallel at the outside edge of the shoulder frame, and just to settle into the opening of the bones, let the joints be free. So perhaps what do I mean by that? Well, in the soft spaces, so here in the softness of the shoulder joint, and here in the soft space within the elbow, here within the soft space of the wrist, here in the soft space of the hip, the soft space of the knee, which is at the back, the soft space of the ankle, which is at the front finally. Sitting down, opening into those spaces, and opening equally away from the center, the postural bone. I call this the vital posture because it engenders vitality in the body, a natural strength, a stamina, and it is necessary if we are to move forward into these arts. So this posture, as I'm showing you now, is the basis, the archetype, you could say, of the standing postures for Qigong, of which there are many. and for the flowing postures of the Tai Chi forms, of which there are very many. And they all come from and return to this stillness standing. And just to remind ourselves that we talk about being still rather than doing still. It is stillness happening. Of course, when we're practicing our stillness, we wouldn't normally speak, but for the purposes of guidance, I feel I must. So, this is developing the vital posture a little bit more deeply. But the shape is very much the same. If I just lower one arm, you can see that it returns to where we came from. But by bringing it forward and up and around, I develop the sense of opening within. So where the shoulder is relaxed, and it must be relaxed rather than raised up, there's a gentle downwardness towards the elbow and a risingness towards the wrist at the base of the thumb, just here. And that comes just around in front of each shoulder. Fingers are open, the thumbs relaxed, not pulled back, softness in the tummy and the chest, wideness in the back. And in closing the body down or closing the posture down, gently, without disturbing the center, without disturbing the quality of mind, and returning to a natural stance. So, to take the vital posture and develop it into the full standing posture for Qigong 3 times, and remaining in the fullness of the posture for 6 breaths on each time. So in making this stillness happening practice, it would be natural to ask ourselves many questions, and they will come into the mind, perhaps primarily, why am I doing this? One answer would be that it is extremely difficult to develop awareness, a balance in the senses, when one is rushing around constantly doing things. And again, we should remind ourselves that we are human beings, not human doings. So doing and thought are the tools of our being. Developing awareness, a softness in the mind, allows for a clarity of seeing and hearing and so forth, and hopefully that awareness, that transformation in us is something that we take out into the wider world. I'm just going to show you one further posture for standing, simply because it's a favorite of mine. And this develops a standing posture that is asymmetrical. So here the weight is in my back foot, my right foot, more than my forward foot. The asymmetry is flowing through the whole of my body, and yet there is a distinct sense of balance. So not all balance is symmetrical. And I would say that this posture in particular develops for me personally an inward perception of far-seeingness, So the guidance is to stand right in the center of your being, in the center of your bones. Standing in your original self.